All right, today we're headed to a mountain that is wrapped in more mystery than pretty much anywhere else on Earth. It's a peak that seems to defy climbers, bend the laws of physics, and it raises some massive questions that science, well, still has no answer for. So let's dive right into the incredible enigma of Mount Kailash.
So get this, a team of professional mountaineers, we're talking seasoned vets, they start to climb this mountain. But not far up, they notice something absolutely terrifying. Their fingernails and their hair start growing at an impossible rate. They feel themselves aging right there on the mountainside. They retreat, obviously, but it's too late. Within a year, every single one of them is dead from mysterious causes. And this isn't some campfire story. It's one of the chilling legends that guards Mount Kailash.
And here's where things get really weird. Mount Kailash is over 2,000 meters shorter than Everest, and yet more than 7,000 people have stood on top of Everest. On top of Kailash? It's believed only one person in all of human history has made it. So what's the deal? What makes this smaller mountain so completely unconquerable? Look, the mountain's forbidden reputation isn't just built on spooky legends. It's built on a documented history of some of the best climbers in the world being turned away by, well, something they just couldn't explain. Let's start with Reinhold Messner. This guy is an absolute legend, the first to summit Everest without oxygen. When the Chinese government invited him to be the first to climb Kailash, he said no way. He believed some mountains are just too sacred to be climbed. Then there's the story of a Russian climber who mapped out the perfect route, started his climb, and was suddenly just hit with this overwhelming feeling that he was trespassing. He turned right back around. And maybe the weirdest of all, in 2001, China sends a research helicopter up on a perfectly clear day, not a cloud in the sky. As it got close to the peak, boom, a violent storm just materializes out of nowhere, forcing it to retreat. So after that whole helicopter incident, the Chinese government did something you almost never see. They basically said, that's it, we're done. They declared the mountain completely off limits, banning all future climbing. The mystery was so deep, the forces so unexplainable, that their only move was to just seal it off from the world. But the mystery goes way deeper than just failed climbs. The actual geography of Kailash seems to defy nature itself, which has led a lot of people to call it the very center of the world. There's a term for this idea. It's called the axis mundi. You know, the point where heaven and earth connect. And Kailash, it's like the poster child for it. From its peak, 4 major rivers flow out in the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. But believe me, that is just the beginning of the strangeness. Right at the base of the mountain, you see this perfect, unnatural duality. You've got 2 lakes sitting side by side. One is Lake Mansarovar. It's pure, calm, fresh water, just teeming with life. It's considered sacred. Right next to it, Rakshas Tal, the ghosted lake. Its water is salty, totally lifeless, and it's constantly being battered by storms while its neighbor stays perfectly calm. It's literally life and death right next to each other. All right, if you thought that was strange, you need to buckle up for this next part because it is just mind-blowing. People have pointed out some incredibly precise distances. The distance from Mount Kailash to Stonehenge in the UK, 6,666 kilometers. From Kailash to the North Pole, you guessed it, exactly 6,666 kilometers. And to the South Pole, that would be 13,332 kilometers, exactly double that number. Is that just a wild coincidence, or is it a sign of something else? And we're not just talking about myths and weird numbers here. There is actual, measurable, scientific weirdness going on. We're talking strange energies and bizarre forces that have scientists from all over the world scratching their heads. So, back in 1999, a Russian scientist named Ernst Moldashev leads an expedition to the mountain. He studies it and he comes back with an absolutely bombshell of a claim. He basically says, that's no mountain. It's a massive man-made pyramid built by some highly advanced ancient civilization. Now, why would he say that? Well, for one, people are constantly reporting seeing strange stuff, like 7 different colors of light coming off the peak at night, and they hear this deep, humming vibration coming from inside the rock itself. And this isn't some new age thing either. Get this, way back in 1938, Nazi Germany sent an expedition to the area, supposedly looking for these exact same hidden energy sources. And now, there's hard data. In 2015, another Russian scientist studying the rocks around Kailash detected an electromagnetic frequency of around 5,000 gigahertz. You don't have to be a physicist to know that is an insanely high number. You just don't find that kind of frequency in natural rock formations. Something in there is pumping out an incredible amount of energy. And it's not just electromagnetism. NASA's satellites have picked up on a huge magnetic anomaly there. The magnetic field around Kailash is anywhere from 3,000 to 8,000 nanoteslas stronger than the surrounding areas. The Earth's magnetic field is literally warped right around this one spot. On top of all that, scientists have measured gravitational fluctuations. Gravity itself isn't constant around the mountain. Now, science has two possible explanations. One, there could be a hidden volcano deep inside. Or two, and this is where it gets really interesting, there could be a vast, hollow cave system underneath it. And that second theory lines up perfectly with ancient texts that claim an advanced civilization lives inside the mountain. Okay, so let's circle back to that chilling story we started with, the climbers who aged super fast. I know, it sounds like science fiction, right? But what if there's actually a scientific reason for this time-bending effect? Well, scientists have three main theories. First, the intense UV radiation at that altitude could be damaging skin cells so fast that it just looks like you're aging. Second, the super low oxygen could be speeding up your metabolism, basically causing your body to burn itself out faster. But the third theory, and the one that gives me chills, ties right back to that magnetic anomaly. A magnetic field that powerful could, in theory, disrupt our hormonal systems and literally trigger a rapid aging process. So we have failed attempts, we have bizarre science, but there is one last, crucial piece to this puzzle. It's the story of the one person who allegedly did reach the summit. And he didn't use ropes or ice axes. According to Tibetan legend, way back in the 14th century, a Buddhist master named Milarepa made it to the top. But here's the kicker. The stories say he didn't climb it in a physical sense. He ascended using his spiritual energy alone. It makes you wonder, maybe Kailash isn't a physical challenge you can conquer, but a spiritual one you have to understand. And so, even with all these incredible theories, from man-made pyramids to magnetic anomalies, the biggest mysteries of Mount Kailash are still completely unanswered. We're left with way more questions than we started with. For instance, why is the airspace directly over the mountain a designated no-fly zone? Not just for commercial flights, for military aircraft too. What are they so afraid of planes encountering up there? And how about this? The entire Himalayan region is constantly shaken by powerful earthquakes, but this one specific area around Kailash is strangely immune. It's like something is holding it stable from deep within. And that leaves us with the most profound question of them all. Could the theory of a hollow cave system, the gravitational anomalies, and those ancient myths all be pointing to the same incredible truth? That a tunnel deep inside Mount Kailash really does lead to a hidden world, home to a civilization far more advanced than our own? I don't know the answer, but what do you think?